Hi, friends, brothers and sisters. I'm Francis, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Our gospel for today is taken from Matthew, chapter 9, verses 14 to 17. It reads, Then the disciples of John came to him, saying, Why do we and the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast? And Jesus said to them, Can the wedding guests mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. And no one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch tears away from the garment, and a worse tear is made. Neither is new wine put into old wineskins. If it is, the skins burst, and the wine is spilled, and the skins are destroyed. But new wine is put into fresh wineskins, and so both are preserved. In the old days, fasting was an activity associated with deep distress or mourning. The Israelites would fast whenever they sinned greatly against the Lord. They would fast before an impending enemy attack, praying for deliverance or victory. They would fast whenever they were in mourning. King David fasted when his child was sick and dying. Queen Esther and her people fasted when they were in danger of being exterminated by the king's chief minister. And then we fast forward to the New Testament, where the Pharisees, as described in scriptures, would do fasting mostly for show. They made a show of fasting, of looking sad and dirty and not eating anything, and advertised to everyone that they were in fasting to show people how holy they were. And how did Jesus answer the question about fasting? He told 3 stories. The first one about a wedding. The second one about patching up old garments with new cloth. And the third one about putting old wine into new wineskins. Let's start with weddings. Who doesn't love weddings? In the Filipino culture, weddings are usually big yet intimate events where the bride and bridegroom would carefully select their guests to bear witness to their union and are then treated to a feast of good food and good entertainment. Brothers and sisters, when you are in a wedding, there are no sad people, no sad reasons to be there, no reason to mourn. Jesus used this as a way to tell John's disciples, why fast? Why mourn? I'm here. We should instead celebrate. The time for fasting will be when he is taken from them, and rejoicing will return when he conquers sin and death. Jesus presents himself as a reason for the celebration, and so there is no time for mourning. The next 2 stories share the same messages. First message, something about out with the old and in with the new. Nothing wrong with fasting when you are in despair, but I invite you also to fast when you are praying for something, when you are expecting something great. My community had its first face-to-face retreat last weekend, our very first since the pandemic started. As part of our preparations, we fasted for 3 Fridays prior to the retreat. Bread and water only from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we did that as a sacrifice, an offering for the Lord, for our retreat to proceed as scheduled, and for us to be blessed by the retreat, and for as many of our members to be able to attend the retreat. And boy, was I blessed. Boy, were we all blessed. Our retreat master designed a very light retreat for us with only 2 talks and lots of time for personal reflection and prayer. I learned a lot about the character of God last weekend, and I also learned a lot about myself. I ended the retreat very refreshed and inspired. The fasting, the sacrifice, was so worth it. Second message, something about change. Nothing wrong with the old ways, but we are constantly experiencing change. And so we also have to constantly adapt. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Dog trainers will disagree, but the point being, the old will not easily adapt to the new. So instead, new wine for new wineskins, new cloth for new garments. If we look back at the last 2 years, we have been forced away from our churches and places of worship due to the COVID-19 virus. So, instead of us forcing ourselves back to the church, we innovated and moved the church to each one's homes. Our masses were celebrated in churches and chapels, but broadcasted on TV and streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. Our prayer meetings used to be on some physical venue, but now we move to our own digital prayer rooms via FB Live, Zoom, MS Teams. Name it, it's out there and it exists. And even now, as we relax a bit on our health and safety protocols, some communities are moving towards hybrid prayer meetings, meeting physically someplace and having that gathering live streamed on social media. Additionally, our young people are now spending more time glued to their gadgets than going out. So, if we want to spread the word of God to the young ones, we have to adapt and be where they are. That's why we have YouTube channels and FB live streams. And at some point, we may have to invade TikTok and Kumu so we can bring Jesus to the young ones. Our old ways are not wrong. It is just that we are living in the present, not the past. And so for our present times, we need to live and act Jesus through present ways. If you have been blessed by this short reflection, please like and share Pathways of Hope to your friends and loved ones. Again, my name is Francis Ortega. Thank you and have a great day.